Welcome to Q Aquatics and Exotics. My name's Susie Q, and tonight I am so excited. Got a special guest. Chung is with us from the water box. I can't wait so we can chat with him and get going. Let me see if I can bring up the chat so I can see who's here. Oh, look at everybody in the chat already. How is everybody? Thank you, Candy. Thank you. I so appreciate that. Fishy in tank tops. John's in the house. Mike lurking around. You creepy lurker, you. Sandy's in the house. Oh, this is great. This is good. Aquaballs, Monster. Thank you, Monster, for posting my link, too. Thank you. Muppets. Kevin. Oh. Hashtag Carrie. Oh, guys, you guys are coming from Carrie's. Well, oh, hey, Bob Kaler. Well, let's get this started. And, you know, my favorite way to start it. Let's see if this... I didn't test it. So we're going to see how... See, I'm stalling, right? You see that, right? Oh, I do have a file called testing. Here we go. Oh, I hear that drip too. Is that going to be okay with you guys?
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.
That doesn't get old for me. How about you? Oh my gosh. I guess the hashtag coming from Skippers is hashtag Carries. And I love how you guys were Carrie and Skipper stream and Skipper and Carrie stream. I thought that was pretty cool. 2 hours of me cleaning out a 90-gallon and getting that ready was fun listening to that live. Those lives, I should say. Oh my goodness. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I got a special... Oh, the birds. The birds. It's like a horror movie, right? Anyway. If I go quiet, you know why. So I got a special guest who is very important to me, especially because when I first went on YouTube, he was so gracious with so many tips and tricks and helping me along the way. And then he went away. And now I see that he's back, and I want to talk to him a little bit about that, guys. Help me welcome Chung from the water box.
Hey. Hello. Hey. How are you guys doing?
I think we need sound effects.
Still popping out on your still popping out on your intro there.
Oh, I hope it gets stuck in your head. I love that when people say that.
Yeah, it does get stuck in your head, unfortunately. Well, I don't know, it's fortunate or unfortunate, but
so my dream is to create me doing water changes and cartoonize it, like make it a cartoon. Me bopping around my fish room to that song as my intro. I just don't know how to cartoon me yet.
Oh, there you go. Just get something called Toony. You could see if you can figure that out.
Yeah, I got to figure that out because that'll be fun. That will be fun. So many people in the chat saying, hey, look at this. I love this. Thank you, guys.
Look at that. You got a bigger turnout than I ever get.
That's only because you went away.
But, honestly, I didn't go away. I just lurked.
Did you?
Yeah, I pretty much lurked and just watched things going on.
So if you're lurking, and I know you're busy working, and from your topic of your live stream earlier today, which I thought was fascinating, when you were talking about burnout from the aquarium hobby. I haven't experienced burnout yet, but I have experienced bummed out. When you lose your favorite,
Sorry.
bummed out. Like when I lost my favorite fish, or I had
Ah, yeah.
Columnaris and a whole tank got wiped out. I had the case of the Effets. So I don't know as I got burnt out, but I was like so sad. I was like, I don't want to do this. So
That's one of just burnout. I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah,
But that does happen. And also hi to everyone that's saying hi to me in the chat. I see a lot of names that I know. Science Gal, how you doing? I had to say. All right, sorry.
Dan, go ahead. You can interrupt the chat anytime you want because I am here basically on Sunday nights just so I can chat with my people. Like I just love that connection. Dan Slee is saying lurker power.
That's
Yeah.
how it works.
Yep. Yeah, Bob is the one that told me that you were back. I'm like, I'm gonna find him. I gotta find him. So I don't know if you remember this, Chung. Early on, well, I think it was before Fish Tubers. There was another Facebook group that we all used to chat around. Maybe it was Team Green Alliance. I'm not sure. I forget.
I think that's what it was.
You were one of the first people to offer. If anybody wants help, I'm gonna do a chat now. And I know it was you. It was Susan from SLC Aquatics and myself. And you helped us out so unbelievably. I had no idea any of the perspectives that you were throwing at a fish tuber. Because basically, I was just being a fish keeper on YouTube. Like, I had no other knowledge. So I thought that was very gracious of you. And I really appreciate that.
Well, that's usually where it starts. Is you're just a fish keeper you're recording your experiences, but when you want to start getting an audience and stuff, you kind of put down the cards and go a little bit further and stuff like that. And there's a lot of people that tell you just got to learn how to do it. And I've been doing this for so damn long. I mean,
Right.
this Aquarium Channel is just, I don't know, the 5th YouTube channel that I've done. Before
Wow.
this was a wargaming channel. Before that, it was a scale modeling channel. Before that, it was a WoW channel. And way before that, when like YouTube just started, after it became a dating site and it became what it was, I was doing vlogging and stuff along with the old school people. But I just didn't push it long enough to get anywhere. And at that time, I was just like, it's not going to go anywhere. Who in the hell wants to hear about someone's boring lives, right? And then all of a sudden you have
That's what they're all doing, right?
making tons of money doing it now. And I was just like, well, here goes the
Well,
other thing,
I did get a super chat thanks to you indirectly, so I appreciate that. Danny Thomas, $5 super chat. I subscribed to the channel because of the Waterbox live stream from earlier today. Well, Danny, I so much
Nice.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Danny, thanks for the props. Obviously, giving me some good looks over here.
Yep. And when John Larson says that when a fish is lost, it's a challenge to find out why and prevent it from happening again. Then the happy task of replacing the fish. That is a happy task, but when you find out the reason why is yourself and your either ignorance or maybe space out or whatever, it's very troubling. So I made this rack, right? And I made it so that the 55 was here, and then step back a little bit as a whole wall of 10s, and then step back was my 2.5 gallons. Thinking this is great. I'm doing water changes. My favorite betta jumps out of a 2.5 gallon right into the Oscar tank. I couldn't even snatch it up fast enough. I just stood there staring at the tank like, and I set that whole traumatic, drastic thing to happen all by myself. So it was hard for me. I know other people are like, what? Get over it. Oh, but I'm like, oh my God, I think I cried. But anyway.
Yeah, it happens. But, you live and learn, and you do it better next time, hopefully.
Yes, that's hopefully. Oh, thank you, Candy.
Yeah.
Posted your site.
Thank you, Candy. And by the way, hi, Candy.
Yeah, feel free to talk to anybody in the chat or anything you want.
Oh,
See,
then I'll be talking to the chat forever.
good.
Not
That's what I
you. That
like.
would be fair.
That's what I like. Tops are important, Q. Thank you, Dragon Lair. Yes, they both had lids. I was just in the middle of cleaning, and instead of putting the one lid back on before starting the next, trying to do 5 things at once, which I don't do very well. Yeah. So I
Oh
like
man.
the fact that you talked about other channels even back then, and you made it sound so easy. You're like, oh, I just started up another channel. Look, like it was just like, wow, because I had struggled for a year and a half just with the one channel. Well, now I have the channel Plantique 101, or Plantique as you know, and that's for my house plants. And I've had the Mini Q's channel for years, but I don't really post to it because it was all my miniatures. And that niche is even smaller than fish keeping, believe it or not. But lately,
Actually,
I've
you'd be
been having fun.
surprised. That's actually a big niche, actually. But it's hard because you already got people ahead of you doing it too. So it's kind of a give or take.
Yep, yep. But I'm having fun with it. So, but I do owe a lot of that to
Well,
you.
that's all
You
that
made it sound
matters.
like it's doable. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, just do. I know when you first started, you were always pretty nervous about being in front of the camera. And look at you now; you're just going at it, and that's basically it. You just sat down and did it, and then it just became second nature, and that's usually how it works.
Bob says I'm a chain now. Yeah, I'm a chain. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, Candy posted my channel. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, Chain. I would like to. I wish I had the like. Is it the oomph to do a vlog of my life? Like I would love that. I think that would be so great. But like, I think who cares? Who cares? Especially when I look
Yeah,
back on my life, I'm like, my life used to be like what? I was a single parent raising 4 daughters, taking care of my elderly mom, going to school at night, working full time, going to AA meetings. It was constant, constant, constant. And now I'm like, yeah, I just do what I want now. The kids are grown. My mom is
yeah,
gone.
pretty much. Yeah, my life's pretty boring too, so it's just really hard to do a vlog on it. I mean, the only time it gets interesting is if I go out of the house, and I don't go out of the house much, so that's probably the biggest problem there. The only
Yes.
time I go out of the house is go film music videos for my best friend's daughter. She does her music stuff on YouTube. So when she's ready to, record a video for a song or whatever she's covering, I go out. We go out and do the video. Like we go to very different places to do videos. But she does like these old time rock and roll stuff, the
Oh, my
stuff we
favorite.
listen to. Yeah, she's a total rocker. So when she was doing, let's see, was it Wanted Dead or Alive? We went to a ghost town and we filmed there to do it. And see, that's the fun stuff. That's what I like. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Aquarium Channel is fine. It's mostly me teaching people how to do things, and that's the boringest freaking videos to do. Though it does get views, it's just boring because I sit here, research, film, and edit. It's not all that spectacular. But when I go out and do the music video, Dead or Alive, we find a ghost town. Hideaway the Hell, we go out in the desert and we shoot. So stuff like that.
That sounds
And then my
exciting.
newer channel coming up. Yeah, it is exciting. And my newer channel coming up someday when I decide to kick it off. It's called Imaginative Theory, and it's all doing shorts, creative shorts, just telling stories and stuff like that.
Oh,
Very, very Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat kind of thing.
that's
But
a
I
very fun
don't actually talk
art. Like
about life.
trying to tell stories. It takes some skill.
Yeah, well, it's all about the creativity side. I have to do that, or I'm gonna get burnt out doing all the fish stuff. Or even in my wargaming channel, it was a lot to do with teaching people how to airbrush and paint. So it's tutorials there too. So that was there's no creativity behind it other than creating the videos. But you creating a story, that's a whole different story.
Right. Oh, cool. So we have a question from Danny Thomas. I'm going to address it to you. I'm cycling a 15-gallon, and I'm getting brown stuff on my plants. We were just talking about this earlier. What is it?
It's bacteria, cyanobacteria, or is it brown algae? I hate that stuff.
Ugh.
It's horrible. And to get rid of it, I think I don't know. I don't know what kind of water you're using right now, but one thing to help is to cut it with RODI water, because there might be something in the water that's causing silicates and stuff like that in the water. If you have stuff in your declarations, or especially silicate sand, it causes silicone in your water that's going to cause brown algae as well. I hate that stuff. I can't stand it. Took forever to get rid of it in my office tank because the water had so much silicates in it. It just came. So the only way to fix it was to switch completely to RODI.
Yeah, I just blacked out one of my tanks. I didn't think the plants were going to survive because I blacked it out from my Sunday night live stream to the next Sunday night. And to my amazement, it worked. I was like,
It'll work. Your plants might get a hit out of it, but not that bad. I mean,
no, it wasn't
they
yet.
survive. It's better to do it ASAP than wait.
Oh, I waited. It was bad. It was.
Sounds really bad.
So, Dragon Lair is saying that he spent hours on the OCA Tropheus conference, and it was awesome. How interesting! Like, how are they having fish conferences online? I have yet to see
virtual
one. Yeah,
virtual conferencing. Yeah, I was just in one for my company, and I had to teach my boss how to do all that stuff because when we were doing virtual conferences in the gaming world, we did a lot of when way long ago before doing the wargaming stuff. I ran a role playing organization for Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, and what we did was we did a virtual conference, kind of like the vendors have their own virtual room, chat room. This is before like all the nifty gritty stuff. They had their own IRC channel, and they talked to people that jumped in, and then they had like a little part of the website where they show off their stuff and stuff like that. It's not as advanced as it is now because we didn't have all the tech back then. But it's an old school thing that's been out there. Now everyone's jumping in on it because of the COVID stuff. It's actually really, really good to do because people can access it all over the world. Like if we go to Akashela, you got to pay up for the hotel room, you got to pay up for the flights and the travel, the food expenses. But if you had a virtual fish conference, it's not as good as face to face, but more people can attend.
So how does that work? If how do you see all the different fish? How do you see all the different exhibits when you're virtual?
I don't know if anyone's said a virtual fish conference before, but what you do is just what we're doing now. You set up the webcams, or if you want to get techie, cameras hooked into your computer, and just put it onto the tank. Like what we're doing right now, sitting face to face. That's what people do. They go down to the website, they see the vendors, they jump on the vendors. Each vendor has meeting times, they have presentation times, and you would just sign up for the time where they're presenting, like a live chat like right now, and they would just jump in and sit there and watch us talk or present or ask questions and stuff like that.
Oh.
It's not as good as being live, but anyone can access it all over the world as long as they have a laptop or a phone.
So I guess it's kind of similar to my Bucks County Aquarium Society. We've gone virtual for probably now a year, and our speakers, it's so much easier because we used to have to fly speakers in, buy them. Well, I don't say have to. I mean, it was an honor. But now they get to, in their privacy of their own home and sitting in their own fish room, can do these talks to the different fish clubs. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And everybody's welcome to come. So we're reaching out to more and more people.
Yeah, it's actually a great way. I mean, it would be really cool. We put up together a fish tubers virtual conference, because we're already doing these live chats or whatever. But imagine, Monday 8 a.m. where everyone starts, and then you get all these rundowns where you have fish tubers setting the time to talk about and answer questions about people, and then having topics that either you choose or the main conference organization choose to put up, and then you have all these activities and stuff. It's actually doable.
Well,
All I have to
what it's
do is, that's actually a really simple idea. All I have to do is just use one of the virtual conferencing softwares out there to do it. So it'll
and
be
line up
easy,
all
or
the
I can program it.
speakers. You just need somebody who's really organized.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know if you guys still do it, but there was a bunch of people doing the chain live chat thing. They were passing on to everyone. Like it's almost the same concept,
Okay.
except
Oh yeah,
except
Bob
that
Kaler does
instead
that
of a regular.
now. Mr. B was doing it, and Bob Kaler's doing it. It's a whole schedule of the Fish Fam, who goes live
Right.
and when, and yeah,
Right, but instead of doing that, because it's always a regular lineup every weekend, if I remember correctly, you go to a web page like Scal could go to a web page when she attends this conference and set their schedules. Look, Chung's on at 2 o'clock, and then Susie Q's on at 3, and then she'll pick her own schedule, and then she could pick like, oh, Chung's presentation, or come back 2 hours at 4 p.m. to do a Q&A with Chung, that kind of thing. So you set your schedules, and then you have this whole mashup of all these YouTubers having all these plans that they can do, and presentations or Q&A sessions or whatever. And then people come in and just select their schedules and just stay on schedule and just jump in for a whole day or 2 or 3 days, however long the conference is.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's really easy to do.
Some of my favorite things to do is to go listen to the speakers too, because they're speakers that wouldn't normally hear. So yeah, we have a question from Andre Scott. Why do obs, I'm not sure what that is, turn yellow? Maybe no. Why does something turn yellow? AUBS. And what is the best pH for blue rams? I'm thinking the pH for blue rams is going to be under 6.8, probably closer to like 6.5, 6.0 at a higher temperature. But I don't know what obs turning yellow.
I think he means Anubius.
Oh, I bet you're right. Anubius are turning yellow. What would that be? Lack of nutrients?
Yeah, it's probably lack of potassium or nitrate. I can't tell you on the top of my head. I usually look at a chart. Or iron, lack of iron or lack of potassium. So if you don't have iron in your tank, dose iron. If you don't have enough potassium, dose potassium.
Okay. Oh, Chumps is in the house. Special announcement. Here we go. Join me and the panel, Kaler's Aquatics, next. Oh, I like it. There's going to be a panel on next with Bob Kaler.
Doesn't he usually do panels?
He does whatever he wants. He goes live. He does have a set schedule now, but he also just goes live all the time. There's times he's going live in a fish store, and he was at the checkout register, and I was like, I forgot what it was. Maybe it was the parrots. I'm like, did you already look at the parrots? He got out of line, went back to the parrots. It was awesome. It was awesome. So Danny Thomas is saying, are you on the East Coast? I'm originally from New Jersey, and I'm living in California. Yes, I am on the East Coast. I sit here, and I see New Jersey right across the street. I am less than a quarter mile from New Jersey. I live in Pennsylvania, but I live on the bridge, right on the river, the Delaware Water Gap. So I'm looking at Trenton in my front yard. So I'm on the East Coast.
Now, Kevin Long, he's saying the conference, he feels like one of the fun things at conference is being able to pick up amazing fish, which you can't do if it's virtual. Well, it's true. I mean, you're going to miss out on a lot of the cool stuff. Mainly getting drunk in the middle of the night with all your friends and then getting the huge argument with each other, which Susie can attest to because I told her all about Aqua and Joe. It was funny. It's Joey and it was a bunch of people. But when we get drunk, it was one of those things where you just so many things happen, and it's just fun to do. You miss all that stuff.
Yeah.
But again, having a virtual conference is really more of a knowledge gathering, and it does sound kind of boring. But when you have good people sitting there with a prepared speech or presentation, it's a different story. You get some good stuff, and then you get to um, discover a lot of good people that they either didn't know about or, well, just plainly didn't know about. So there's a lot of way to go about it. It's really hard though right nowadays because when I did the YouTube channel, it was right after I think a group of the OGs, right? I know led by Corey and then you had Joey before that and all that stuff. But then nowadays it's a very more, I don't want to say diluted because that sounds bad, but there's a lot more channels out there doing what they want to do, and a lot of channels doing the way they want to do things. So there's a lot of them now. It's really hard to catch those eyes. But I find smaller channels. I found some small channels that I really like watching. And a lot that I don't, but that's beside the point. But there's just so many out there, so diluted, and it's hard to find the people that it's really good unless you do things like this.
Right. Well, I find myself, I follow topics more than channels. So let's say I'm doing something like, I'm just going to be basic for the YouTube gig, cycling a tank. I want 15 different opinions on how people cycle tanks. Like, I don't want to just listen to one person. I want to hear 15 different people saying how they do something. And I just pick something basic, but you could apply it to anything with keeping fish or keeping plants in fish tanks and things like that. Or like you did the dry start method. When you did your dry start method, I watched yours and I'm like, then I must have watched 15 other dry start methods and I saw the commonality and I'm like, well, this is definitely what I should be doing because all 12 of these points were commonalities. So that's why I kind of follow topics, but as opposed to people. But the fish fam that's very tight knit here, they're on constant play, constant going in the background as I'm driving to work. And it's not so that I learn something per se. It's just to stay connected. Because like we were talking earlier, I feel very disconnected in this last year. And it's nice to have a place where I know there's like-minded people. In my neighborhood, not a lot of people that are like fish freaks.
Yeah, true. But, in the past year, you should be more connected, though, because everyone's at home doing nothing but watching YouTube. And my analytics can attest to that, it's like everyone thinks this sucks, but I kind of like it because I'm getting the views, right? So, and the subscribers. But, to each of their own. But, yeah, you're right. Having... a lot of people come to me when they're asking advice for YouTube and they're like, well, it's already been done. I go, but yeah, you got to do it your way. And that's the important thing. Don't try to copy what I did on Dry Start Method. You have to show your own experience with Dry Start Method. So there's a difference so that people who are watching the same the same method, but different videos can get all the information. Because honestly, I look back on my Dry Start Method video and I'm like, I missed a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And whoever, what's his name, George Farmer covered that. Right. And I would tell people, look, watch mine, then go watch George Farmer because George Farmer did cover some stuff that I missed. And it happens. Yeah. And whenever I go and look up a topic or research a topic, I'm watching 10 different videos about the same thing just to make sure I got everything that I could get. And throw out whatever I think was BS, right? Kind of thing. Exactly. And it happens. Because it's not BS in the sense that he's wrong. It's just BS because his experience is not going to match my experience.
Right. And he could have a higher humidity level at his place, lower temperatures. Exactly. He could have water that comes out of his faucet at 8.2.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing is, you make a video about the same stuff. Do it. Do it your own way. And do it so that you don't offend people doing it.
Oh, I feel Frank Sinatra song coming on. I did it my way.
Yeah. You do it your way, just as long as you don't piss people off. Because there are some people that just the personality that piss people off.
Yeah.
The things they say and stuff.
Well, I think I
So
showed my dry start method that I did, and all my plants died. But I showed it anyway, and I did that on purpose. Not like, look at me, I suck. But I did this. I followed these rules. This is what I did, and it didn't work out for me. Okay, so I'll try again. But I wanted to post that because that was my journey.
Yeah, you got to post it. Showing failures is where everyone learns, including yourself. And that's one of my, I think, one of my more famous videos is that you will fail at Planet Tanks. That's the title of it. And it gets a lot of views, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's all that video is all about. Look, shut up, just plant it and do it. Stop asking me freaking questions all the time about the same damn thing when you know you're ready to just do it."
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is just you gotta do it because I can't teach you experience. Only you can.
Well, Joan has a question about swordtails. Are they good tank mates with guppies in a 75-gallon dirty tank?
Ew. I hate breeders. I hate live bearers. I hate them with a passion. Yeah, because when I first started with, not first, when I got back in the tanks, I'm like, oh, look, plant tank, cool. I made plant tank. Oh, let's get mollies or let's get mollies, guppy, or whatever. Yeah, they're easy fish to get back into. And then, you buy 2, and then a month later you have 1 billion, and you're like, what do I do with all this fish?
Yep.
I hate them.
Sometimes I had some that mixed together that should not have mixed together. Now, obviously, their babies grew up, but they weren't fertile. So they couldn't have babies. But I think it was a molly and a guppy. It was like this really, I called it a muppy. It was just like this big, ugly, I was like, ooh, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a problem with having them together in a tank. I mean, other than having babies and them eating it.
It keeps them fed. It keeps your food costs down. Am I allowed to say that without people getting mad?
I don't know. People get so offended easily nowadays. So just...
It's like a circle of life. I'm not going to sing it, but it's a circle of life. So Muppet...
Just add your disclaimers and you should be fine.
Muppet 99. Is there a certain time of day to add the liquid... add the liquid ferts? Or does it not matter?
I always do it in the morning or in the midday when everything's in photosynthesis, so that that the fert's not being wasted. Because if you put it towards the end of the day and you're about to shut down, those fert's not going to be used. Some of it will stay in the tank until the next day, but you're going to lose a lot of it. The ferts especially liquid ferts, will get dissipated really quick.
So is that similar to if you're running CO2, you only run it during the day? Because is that like the similar idea behind it?
No, you run CO2 when the lights are on.
Oh, for me,
you could run CO2 24 hours 7 if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you could do that. The only thing is that you run it as long as the lights are on. You're running it, and you're fine. The problem is if you're running CO2 and the lights are off, the plants stop using it and produce their own CO2, and you're going to gas out the tank. So always have CO2 going when the lights are going, or always have the lights going when you have CO2 going.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, they're saying that they got a lot of fry in their tank now, and that's what's stopping her from moving to the next level. Is because now she's got so many guppy fry. And I take mine to my local fish store, and I can trade fry in for food. So it might not be ideal. It's not fish for profit. But hey, if it's bringing fish food in the house. Or
that's the other thing, though. Most pet stores, like these are common. So if you go to a pet store, they're like, I don't want it. We have hundreds. What are we going to do with it? That's the other problem, too. That's why I hate live bears. I don't know what to do with them. I flush them. You don't want to flush them. They're fish. They're your pets. You don't want to commit fish-icide. Right? So what do? Now you all suddenly have 50 tanks, 10-gallon tanks of guppies right? You don't know what to do with. Have you ever tried giving away kittens or puppies to family members? It's a pain in the ass. I'll try getting rid of 50 mollies, hundreds of mollies to friends that have no idea about fish. That's the other thing.
Well, I'm very lucky. There's a girl down the road who keeps having these fry, and she's like, "Do you want them? I don't want them in my tank. Do you want them? I don't want them in the tank." Now, I have 4 or 5 hospital tanks set up. I want to keep them cycled, so I'm like, "Yeah, bring them over." So now they're raising fry, and then because I'm not breeding them, so when I'm done, I can scoop these out, push them all over there. Now I got a hospital tank ready and raring to go. So it's working.
Oh, there you go. That works.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just leave them in the hospital tank and it becomes food for your new fish.
Exactly.
I know that's a horrible thing to think about, but sometimes you got to keep the population low. So use them as feeders at the same time.
Whip said, "I'm offended that you said people are so easily offended." I'm offended that you said people are offended.
It's okay. It's okay. I offended the easily offended all the time by saying they are offended.
Oh
It
man,
happens.
I'm with John Bag of Donuts, man. I got used to being offended real early. He offends me all the time.
Yeah, but well, here's the thing. It's like I'm the type of guy that don't give a f if I
Yeah.
offend you. It's just like, look, I didn't mean to offend you, but if you have a problem, that's on you, not me.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that?
Oh,
She was starting to fly.
He was flapping.
I was ready to catch her.
flapping.
I was ready to catch her.
She was like, oh, she wants to be free. Is she out of the cage?
Oh yeah, always. And she's not clipped. She has free roam of the
Oh.
house. But when I talk back to her, she
Yeah.
screams like that. So I gotta talk
Yeah.
softer. And if she gets
She
too
gets
loud,
pissy.
we're gonna have a problem. Sophie.
He gets pissy.
Mismatched Sock says, "I'm hoping to find someone who's fixing to start a pond that'll take the guppies off my hands." Ah, that's another
That's
project.
the way to do it.
You can hold on to those guppies for outside summer tubbing, but then you'll just have even more fry. At the end of the summer, you'll have so much more. And I don't put guppies in my pond. I put mosquito fish in my pond. My mosquito fish are like guppies on steroids. You know?
Oh yeah, they'll totally keep
they'll kill
all the mosquitoes clear.
They'll kill every guppy in the pond. But I did have a floater today. The ice melted. I pulled back the net a little bit, and I have a floating goldfish. None of my koi.
No.
So I pulled that one out, but now it's freezing again, and we're going to get storm. So whatever happens, happens. We'll see in a couple more weeks.
Yeah, you guys are getting hit with storms.
Oh, man, and it's so cold. I just want to work on my yards, on my pond. I want to go outside.
Yeah, and it's March. It should be, almost spring. I guess you can complete it. You can complain about it next month if it's still messed up.
Yeah. So RB Animals and Collectibles, which I love collectibles and animals, is asking what kind of bird do I have. This one is a 6-year-old severe macaw, Sophie the severe macaw. This one over there is Widget Gidget Midget. John calls her Munchkin, 2.5-year-old Parrot. I rescued both of them. This one, the Parrot, I rescued. She was totally plucked, had no feathers left, looked like a little raw chicken, ready to be cooked. But don't tell Chris Biggs because he thinks all birds should be eaten. But anyway, all her feathers are growing back. She's all fluffy, nasty little bird, but I'll get her. I'll win her over, just like Sophie. I'm starting to really win her over. I've been working with her one-on-one for a year now. So severe macaws are a little severe anyway. Uh-oh, John Bag of Donuts is in the house. He said, "Hi, Chung." That's my John. That's in the other room. Maybe he heard me talking about him.
So you name your bird Widget Midget Gidget?
We haven't really named it. So we're trying to find a personality. And it's like my kids. I have Amy, Katie, Sarah, and Colleen. And when I want one of them to come here, it's Amy, Katie, Sarah, you come here. It just comes out. Widget, Midget, Gidget.
Yeah, that sounds... If I had kids, I'd probably call them you too. So.
Yeah.
can't be bothered to learn their name. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, my brother calls them number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So, what are you gonna do?
I like Hey You.
Yeah, Hey You over here.
Better.
So
You
Dan,
don't want to give him a god complex, right?
it says, I saw in the intro that you have a dog. What breed is it? American Bulldog. I think she's 8 years old now. She's kind of a small American Bulldog. We had one that was over 100 pounds, but she's like probably, I think, 80. She's getting old. She's getting a little gray. That's Bane. That's my daughter and Kyle's dog. And yes, we have. You just hush your mouth. Uh-oh. Somebody's saying you just hush your mouth, Dragon. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. The fight. Fight on the
I know, right? Do you have any pets, Chung, besides the fish?
Yeah, my kitty.
Oh, I love kitties.
She's all white. She's a bitch.
Is that her name?
I still love her. No. Her name is Blanca, actually. My cousin. It was my cousin's cat. So I'm like, oh, so what's her name? He's like, Blanca. I go, you name your white cat White, but in a different language? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Geek Boy says, that's my wife's name. Hey, you. Not for long. Meaning, not your wife for long.
I know, right?
I've never once called her by my ex's name. Oh, good. That would be bad.
Oh, that would be bad.
You might want to practice that one. Oh, but
or just make sure you marry someone with the same ex's name, then you'll be fine.
Benoxi's asking you, do you have any progress in your fisherman patio plan? Just remember in your last stream.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I haven't gotten anywhere, basically. I did that video. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to play video games. I don't want to do anything. I want to watch a movie. But it's go slow going, but I'm jumping back into the video, so I'm redoing the whole set. And that set, I need to set up my angelfish tank for behind me. But I got to build a stupid stand for it and all that stuff. It's just a slow going because I'm just so lazy dealing with fish tanks right now. That's the hardest thing for me. Is like I want to set up a fish tank and do something new. But then I got to build a stand. Pain in the ass. And I just decide not to do it anymore. Yeah. Or I'm like, oh, I gotta go buy this stuff. I gotta wait till it comes in. Oh, it only takes a day to come in from Amazon, but I'm like, ugh.
What size are you gonna go with for your angels?
It's a 60-gallon acrylic I had. That tank my mom had. That tank has been with me for, I don't know, 20, 30 years now. So it's one of those acrylic tanks with a built-in back filter or sump. So I'm gonna go ahead and anoxize that tank right now with that.
And you're set on angels?
What?
And you're set on angelfish?
Yeah, it's gonna be an angel tank with either Congo tetras or rainbow fish and a bunch of cories. Probably
I have a small 29-gallon tank with ice blue angelfish and dwarf rainbows.
Ooh.
And they look gorgeous, heavily planted.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I'm not gonna really. I don't know if I'm gonna heavily plant that tank at all. I might just do jungle valve corkscrews in the back. Ooh. And then most of it is just driftwood and rocks and sand. It's gonna be very simple.
That will make a very nice backdrop, though.
Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah, I just don't want to spend a ton of money on lights. And most of the time right now, the lights I've been starting to use are just floodlights. I'm not growing anything spectacularly rare, so I don't need the full spectrum usually. So like on my discus tank, it's all going to be Anubias, Boost, and Java Fern, and then I'm going to pump CO2 into it to make it explode. Right, and all I need to do that because since they're green plants is a nice couple of floodlights and just run them a long time.
And where do you get your discus from? Do you have a favorite place?
I'm most likely gonna get them from uh, Uncle Sam's Discus over here in
Oh,
Canoga Park. Yeah, that's the people I know. That's I went down there to see Joey when he was doing a presentation about I don't know 4 years ago, and
okay.
I like their operation. I like how they run their operations, and they got some really nice discus all the time. So
A lot of
probably
people
going
are
to go
afraid of
there.
discus.
It's a fish. Figure it out. Stop being a pussy.
I love your attitude.
I You know, a lot. I'm trying not to be a dick about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm cussing too much on your channel, but a lot of people they worry too much. You guys think too much into it. You guys are overthinking things a lot, and it is just that simple. And a lot of times, a lot of fear comes from using CO2 system. I go, it is that simple. Get one, and you'll figure it out, and you'll realize how simple it is. And you're going to slam yourself in the head and say, "I should have done this a long time ago." It's that simple. Everything in the aquarium hobby or anything in life really is that simple. You just do it. Shut up and do it. Right? Shut up, do some research, and just do it.
Yep.
Stop sitting on your butt and then complaining about it. That's the worst thing you'd ever do. Sit here and complain about your life to me. I'm like, then get up and do it. Don't be a dumbass. It just drives me nuts. I hate that.
I love it. You heard it here. Don't be a dumbass. Just do it. We got a new
Yeah, just
slogan
do
going
it.
on.
There is, see, there is a lot of so much in life that everyone complains about. I'm just like, you just don't know where to look. I'll tell you where to look. All right. If you're low on cash, I'll tell you how to make that cash go longer. I'll tell you how to make more cash. And that doesn't mean by just sticking to what you have. Whatever you're working with, budget. And I'm telling you, use whatever you're budgeting, the extra money to make more money. Right? It is very simple. Just people don't know about it. That's the thing.
Cool.
Same thing with aquariums. Same thing with anything you do in life. You just got to find the answer. And if you don't know, ask. Ask someone who knows. People are so like hooked up on their pride about asking other people for help. Just ask.
Yeah.
Advice is usually free. So
So we got a question here.
yeah.
How's the water dragon doing? My water dragon is doing good. 3 years old. Definitely a male. He's doing really good. He is getting a lot more active. So I think he went through kind of like a brumation, even though he didn't really go through a brumation. But he slowed down a lot. He went from eating 15, 20 reptile or insects every day to every other day to less and less. But he's getting active now, and he's in a 4 foot by 4 foot enclosure with a 20-gallon tank. So he is doing good.
What is a water dragon?
Oh, they're gorgeous creatures, almost like an iguana.
Oh, a Chinese water dragon?
Yep,
Oh, they're cool.
they are, and kind of gentle. They're not. Their nails are super sharp, but they don't mean aggression. It's just they've got sharp nails, like razor sharp.
Oh, some of them look like velociraptors.
Oh, they're gorgeous, and they're so nice. And they go from it's kind of arboreal, and they go diving into the tank when they want to get wet or get away, and then they come out. So I got trees growing. If you like the rainforest, you could build like your own little mini rainforest inside a closet, put doors on it, and then you got your Chinese water dragon enclosure.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is a question for you, Chung. I'm getting ready to set a crypt bog garden. What would be the best substrate for cryptocoreans?
Uh, the cheap and best route? Soil. Potting soil. Cheap. Fill it
Ah,
up in your pond garden and just go for it. And the cryptocorean will eat that crap up. They'll grow like I put like a couple of stems in one of my soil tanks, pumped crap ton of CO2 in it, highlighting, and in a month or two, it was just a huge bush. I didn't know what to do with. That sounded dirty, but it was big after a couple of months. But yeah,
oh,
soil is usually always the way to go.
look who's in the house. Do you know who Bird Garden is?
No,
Rack.
but that's a nice little.
That's Rack.
Oh, is it?
River Life.
Oh,
Yes,
is that
it
his new
is.
channel? Oh, that's right. His new channel is
Thank
about
you
birds
so
and
much.
stuff
We
like
got a $20 super chat. Fantastic guest. Dude, how are you? He says.
Wait, is he duding you or duding me?
You, that's you, dude.
Oh,
I see him all the time.
Rack, I'm sorry, but I'm not a dude. I am a man. You're a
Ooh.
dude.
What's the difference?
Come on.
West Coast,
No,
East
well,
Coast?
come on. That's from Endgame. Come on.
Oh,
The Endgame when they found Thor. I don't know if you watched that, but
thank you, Rack. Thank you so
yeah.
much for the super chat.
Awesome super chat, buddy. Awesome super chat.
Yep, Dragon Layer's asking if he's got the fin on his back yet. Yeah, he's starting to get a fin. That's how I know he's the male. He's getting a lot more yellowish here. Oh, he is just absolutely gorgeous, my water dragon.
So when they're young, they don't have their fins out?
They don't have that like dragon thing going down, and females never really get it. They just get little spikes.
Oh, okay.
The male gets the big one, and that's when you can really sex them out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, Rack Bird Garden. I like that. Rack Bird Garden.
Rack Bird Garden. Get your rack on.
So I see that we have less than 8 minutes left before Bob Kaler comes on. And did you say that there's going to be a panel on with Bob Kaler? Let's see here. Sounds like he's comfortable in his new home. Fantastic. Yes, he is. Thank you very much. Chubbs, put a thin layer of sand over the soil in that bog to keep the plant's leaves clean. True. So true. Otherwise, it's like having a dusty house. Every time that little dirt, like pig pen's dust, it settles on the leaves. And if you don't wipe off those leaves with that dirt on it, it tends to build up to where it won't wipe off anymore. Ask me how I know.
Easiest cap is poo filter sand.
Ah.
Buy a huge bag of it for $7.
Now, do you rinse it off, or is it already good to go?
It depends on the brand you buy, but most likely you do. If you buy the really cheap one or your huge bag over at the pool store, yeah, you have to rinse that.
Okay.
But if you buy something, it's called Crystal. I forgot what the brand is, but that one you don't have to wash. But that one's a lot more expensive. But just do the work so that's cheaper. Especially, I don't know how big your bog is. When I hear bog, I'm imagining like a huge pond. I don't know, but if it's a fish tank, yeah, whatever. But to save money, the cheapest way is to soil cap it with pool filter sand. You can get playground sand, but I find that tends to be dustier, and the grains are so much smaller that the soil, the substrate don't breathe as well.
What about that sand blasting sand people talk about? I don't know what that is, but I know it's coarser.
You could do black diamond blasting sand, or is it black diamond blasting sand?
Yeah,
BCB. Yeah. You could do that. Same thing as poo filter sand. It's the same grain size.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I have a couple tanks that I have all the aqua soil down, and I need a topper on it. So sand would be better than gravel, or does it matter as long as you put a layer of something down?
Why do you need to top it off on aqua soil? What kind of aqua soil are we talking about?
Whatever was in the bag, cheap. There's Eco Complete. Like I mix them, match them, whatever I have. If I'm gonna have a plant.
So why do you need a cap for something like that? Caps usually are there to just make it easier to plant and without it getting all messy, dusty. If you want something to look good, yeah. But the problem is if you put sand on top of Eco Complete, the sand is just going to drift down into the substrate.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of useless because after a while you're just going to get Eco Complete and sand. So that's the other thing. Yeah, you don't need a cap for something like Eco Complete or fluoride or anything like that.
Just as is.
Yeah. Yeah, like I never cap Eco Complete. I don't cap Contra soil, I don't cap. Stuff like that. I don't the stuff like that that has big pebbles, I guess. And that size, you don't need a cap really.
Okay.
Unless you're trying to do something fancy. I don't know why you would do it.
Yeah, maybe that's. I was going for that look, the gravel look, but really have sustenance underneath it.
Yeah, you could do that then. Yeah, just for looks. Yeah, that's a different story.
Chris from Multi Tank Addiction said, "I did it again. I didn't get here till the end. Sorry, Chung. Guess he wanted to say, hey, he was working on a video.
Hey, that's what you gotta do. What you gotta do, bro.
Gnarly fish. I love this. Gnarly fish tanks. What a name. Gnarly.
Gnarly.
His decision.
Must be. He must be as old as we are.
I know,
He's
right?
using gnarly.
I am not really digging my 10-gallon tanks displayed on their ends. So I have 12 10s on short end, 6 normal space. I think I like the look better when normal. I just turned all my 2.5 gallons that were all on end this way regular because it's the same. It got old quick. I saw small pieces of like my betta fish or my shrimp, and I really wanted to see the whole thing. And I thought I'd be able to escape it high in the back and coming up, but it didn't work out that way. So I ended up revamping that and putting them all regular as well. So
Yeah, fish are gonna naturally swim against the longer grain, I guess. So
so
to
all
say.
you do is see
I
the
don't.
tail.
Yeah, I don't understand why people do that other than to breed fish.
Space. Yeah,
Just to say
space.
space. Yeah, but
Well,
as a
we've
display
got
tank, I would never do that.
We have 3 minutes. I wanted to thank Chung so much for coming on. It meant a really lot to me. I appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. I'm always here for you. So yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to say to anybody before you go?
Yeah, grab life by the tail and just keep at it, man. You gotta just keep punching and just have fun with what you're doing and have fun in life.
I
That's all
like
I
it. I
gotta
like
say.
having fun. I love
Yeah, fun's all it's all about. Yeah, make everything fun. That's how you get through life, man.
Cool. And you know what I think is absolutely fun? This song. You ready?
Uh oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's coming. I do it in the beginning and I do it at the end. Even if people might complain, not too many people will complain with this because, it's like my favorite.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Na na, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.